We want to turn our attention back to the refugee crisis in Europe, something not seen since World War II. Travel writer and photographer Eric Berry was vacationing in Budapest, Hungary, when thousands of migrants were suddenly stopped from boarding trains to Western Europe. Not sure what to do, he went to the train station to document what he saw, and he ended up capturing haunting images of the human calamity as it unfolded. Eric joins us now from Denmark. Thank you so much, Eric. Looking at these photographs, what did you feel? What did you hear? What did you experience as you started snapping your camera?
Well, Deborah, it was heartbreaking to see, thousands of people outside of a Calais railway station, children, mothers and fathers, just kind of stuck with nowhere to go, no sense of hope. It was really a heartbreaking and devastating thing to sort of witness.
I want to ask you about two images in particular. One is of a little girl holding a sign reading, "Help us." What can you tell us about this photo?
Yeah, so that was taken yesterday morning before the march started towards Austria, and there was a circle of children outside holding signs, asking for help, and those pictures were followed by chants of Mama Merkel. The children were kind of all chanting Mama Merkel, Mama Merkel, of course, referencing the German chancellor and her efforts to sort of give them asylum. It's hard to see children being stripped of their innocence and being sleeping outside of a railway station, underground and without food, and it was really hard to see. But I'm just not sure. I wasn't sure what I could do,
right,
besides take photographs and share them with other people. So that's what I did. Put them on social media and to send them out so people could get an idea of what was happening in Budapest and throughout Europe.
But by sharing those photographs, you humanize the situation, and I think in a way that I think most people simply didn't understand how bad it is. UNICEF is saying that 1 in 4 of those seeking refuge in Europe are in fact children, and there was a very dramatic photo of a little boy, Alan Kurdi, whose body washed up on shore as he and his family tried to seek safety. Your picture's no less powerful because of the fact you're looking at those who are so desperate that they would rather leave everything behind to start fresh, to start anew. I mean, tell us about that.
Well, the thing is, we're all people at the end of the day. It doesn't matter if we're Christian or we're Muslim or we're Buddhist or black or white. At the end of the day, we're all people. We're all human beings. And I think when we talk about news, we talk about conflicts, it's sort of a big picture thing, and we really don't focus on the individuals and the people that these crises are affecting. So what I wanted to do was to go to the train station and find people, find children, find mothers and fathers, and photograph them and speak with them to sort of put a face on the crisis and let people see who these refugees are.
Well, you certainly did that. This is not a crisis that is going to end quickly, and clearly a lot of countries figuring out what their responsibility is to at least give these people hope so that they can escape the terrible conditions from which they have come. Eric Berry, thank you so much for your powerful, powerful work. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Deborah.